Today we're going to be doing a stanza-by-stanza breakdown of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know the classic, the song that everybody loves. Yeah. I hate it. It's so bad. Let's get into it. Alright, full disclosure, I don't have a full script for this video. I have a paragraph that I wrote down in my notes app, and I'm just gonna go through the lyrics on Google, and if I can't remember what my opinion was on a certain thing, I'll look back to my my notes app to We open with the classic. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen and Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Now already, the word recall is the most important word here, because considering that you ask if we recall him, and then say that he's the most famous reindeer of all, that just seems a little silly. It seems a little not redundant, but almost seeing us as stupid. Of course we know who he is. Of course we recall. He's the most famous reindeer of all. Why would we not recall him? But it asks us anyways. I don't know. I guess it fit the rhyme scheme better. I don't know. It assumes we have a baseline knowledge of Dasher and Dancer and the rest of them. So if we know them, but they're not the most famous reindeer of all, then why wouldn't we know the most famous reindeer of all? It's like saying, oh, you know Ringo and George, but do you know John Lennon? Do you know Paul McCartney? It's like saying that, you know. It's just another. It's another level of stupid. We get into the second stanza. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Now the wording here is very specific as well, because it says he had a very shiny nose. The word shiny is key here. Now the dictionary definition of shiny is something smooth, glossy, or bright, because it reflects light. It then goes on to say, you would even say it glows. First of all, how do you know what I would even say, you know? So, most of the time when I'm singing it, I change it to could, just because that is a better word for that sentence. I think it works better. Now, that doesn't mean that it does glow. That just means it's so reflective, it's essentially retro-reflective. You shine light at it, and it reflects it equally as bright. I know that's not what retro-reflective means, I'm not that dumb. But in essence, you know, it just means that it's so shiny that anything you shine at it gets reflected equally as high. Now we're gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna be putting a lot of pins in things. So how much do pins cost? $2.75 at your local Home Depot. That's a steal. This video is not sponsored by Home Depot. In the third stanza, it says, all of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Now, I actually don't have very many critiques with this one, other than they're making a child, not a baby, but a youth reindeer. They're excluding him from their games because he's different. Now, what could that be an allegory for? Let's continue. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? We're gonna put another pin in that. Okay, so currently on our bulletin boards here, we got 2 pins for those keeping track at home. Then how the reindeer loved him, as they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history!" Now we're gonna go back to that first pin that we put in our bulletin board, right? So the first one was that his nose was shiny, and that you could even say that it glows. Okay, that means that his nose, it doesn't glow. And sure, it's depicted as such in the movie. It shows it goes or whatever. you know the noise it makes in the movie. Editor, play a clip here. Editor, play a clip here.
Bouncing iceberg.
That's how it's depicted in the movie, like a little light bulb on his face. However, in the song, which was released 22 years before the movie, and in and of itself was based on a book from like a decade prior, it describes him as having a shiny nose. That means that the nose is simply highly reflective, not itself emitting light. Which brings up another question, if it was bright enough outside for the little small reflective nose to create enough light to see, wouldn't Santa be able to see plainly? Wouldn't that be like, couldn't he just like look with his eyes instead of needing a shiny reindeer nose face? Ugly? I'm sorry, I'm being very mean to this reindeer. It also mentions that the reason Santa couldn't see was because it was a foggy Christmas Eve. Riddle me this, Batman. Foggy does not mean absent of light, meaning that a light would really be of no benefit. Tell me this, if you're in a room filled with steam, like so filled that you cannot see a foot in front of your face, and you hold up a flashlight right next to your eye, will you be able to see better? No. The light will just refract throughout the fog, throughout the mist, throughout the steam. It's all the same stuff, it's water. So a light would really be of zero benefit. Now here's my theory. I think all the reindeer, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Santa, I think they all hated this kid. But then HR came in and they were like, hey, listen, you can't really bully this kid, he's special needs, he's different, but that doesn't mean he's worse, right? Give him a job to do. And then they were like, well, he doesn't really have a job to do. We got 8 deer power pulling this sleigh. What's one more gonna do, really? I mean, we can already get around the whole planet in one night. Adding to that, sure, we'll get it done faster, but it's already, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, And then the HR representative said to them, listen, just find a job for him to do. Just tell him he's doing something. So then they went and they were like, well, it's going to be foggy on Christmas. I know we've dealt with foggy Christmases before, but I don't know, maybe let's tell him that his nose will help us see better in the light. Really make him think that he's really doing a job. And you know what? Let's really make this kid feel good. And maybe it was a Make-A-Wish thing. They were just, let's really make this kid feel good. He's always wanted to do this. He's always wanted to pull Santa's sleigh, Let's really make him feel good. Let's tell him he's going down in history, And they essentially did the mystical reindeer version, the mystical song reindeer lyrical version of giving your younger sibling the disconnected controller, the unplugged controller, and telling them that they're fighting the boss when really you're the one that's doing it. What are your thoughts? Leave your answers in the comments below. Thank you. That was my rendition of the Jax Films Yai outro. But yeah, let me know what you think about this theory. Let me know if I'm dumb. if you have a opposing opinion and you have an argument against me, I would love to hear it. Let's get the party started. Let's bring up this debate that I feel like has been left dormant for 90 years. Okay, bye.